Alright, guys. I've been waiting for this day forever. When I first heard about it, and when I finally found out that it was released, and when I finally got it, I was all like, I don't care how long this takes, I must review this game. I must play it, and I must review it. And now, I never thought this game was... I never thought this day would come. Guys, welcome to my game review on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Hell yes. Now, before I get into it, I have been a fan of The Legend of Zelda for over a year now. I have been collecting a lot of the games, and I do have a Wind Waker poster in the background. It's one of my favorite games of all time, so I also got my little Link plush here, Toon Link, and yeah. At the time, Ocarina of Time was my favorite in the series, so yeah, I love Ocarina of Time, even though I never got to finish it. Majora's Mask, I like. I think it's a good game. A Link Between Worlds, I think is one of the most underrated in the series. I also have the original Zelda and A Link to the Past, but they're on my Wii U. I have the Wii U version. I have both of those games downloaded for my Wii U. Yeah, it's possible. And last but certainly not least, I have Wind Waker, which is my second favorite in the series, or at least was my second in the series. But hell, this game was so good, I got both versions, the GameCube and the Wii U version, and I've beaten them both. So now we have come to Breath of the Wild. This is going to be a 20-minute review because I have so much I want to talk about. So there might be some spoilers ahead, so you have been warned. So basically what The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is basically about. Now at the time, this has been in development since 2015. 2 years. It was supposed to be released last year and the year before, but it never got its official release. I don't know why, but when the Wii U didn't sell very well, it probably is the least best-selling Nintendo console, which is really hard to believe. I mean, Wii U, I think, is a good Nintendo system. It's not my favorite. In fact, there's so many good Nintendo systems out there, I'm not sure what is my favorite. I have no idea, but, I think it might have been because they wanted to wait till they released the Nintendo Switch, which took 2 years. But I wouldn't say this was in development hell, because, when games have been in development hell, that means they don't know when it's going to come out. It might turn out to be garbage. It might turn out to be shit. But that happened with Resident Evil 4. And look what happened. We got one of the best horror games ever. Hell, one of the best games of all time. That is one of my all-time favorite games. So now, I mean, there have been some games that were in development hell and they actually worked, but anyways, enough about that. So basically, Link has awakened 100 years after, um, I'm not sure exactly, but he wakes up when he's been asleep for 100 years, and when he awakens, he is in this far, huge, wide world of Hyrule. And of course, he has to find his memories, which isn't the main quest exactly. It is one of the main quests, but you, of course, have to fight off Calamity Ganon. And Calamity Ganon, if you thought the original Ganon was evil, and if you thought he was scary, dude, he is crazy scary in this. But, of course, I wasn't scared. But, this is a lot different from the other Zelda games, and I am going to get that. I am going to get to that in a few minutes, of course. But, Mainly what happens is, Zelda has been trapped, and basically it's up to Link to find these four warriors and have to fight off. Um, there are four main dungeons in this, and they come from the guardians of. There's like a bird, uh, a giant, a giant guy, and two women, and yeah, basically that is what the main plot is. Let me just say, guys, after playing this, I was all like, I might like this more than Ocarina of Time. Hell, guys, this is one of the best games I've ever played. In fact, it might be my favorite Zelda game, and it just might be my favorite game of the decade. That's right, guys. I found a game that I liked a little bit more than The Last of Us. I still love The Last of Us. It's one of my top 5 favorite video games of all time. But guys, this game, it was incredible, guys. I loved every single second of this game. You have 120 shrines to find. You don't have to find them all. Now, shrines are basically like these little mini dungeons that you have to go into to get these orbs, and you use these orbs to gain, like, health and stamina. You have a stamina wheel where you can just, where you can climb. You can pretty much climb anywhere, and also allows you to sprint and stuff like that. Now, what this is different from the other Zelda games is this is an open world title. This has one of the biggest open worlds I've ever seen. And of course, there are pieces of the map that are missing, but you have to go to these towers to try and get the maps back. And of course, let me see. There's what else? I know there is a lot of talk to talk about, but I don't know what it is with me. I just been so stuffed up lately, but I couldn't help myself. I really couldn't wait. I really wanted to review this game, but there are tons of shrines to find. There's over 120 of them, and unlike the other Zelda games where you basically break a pot to get stuff, no, you don't usually need to take a pot to get rubies or rupees, excuse me. You basically find like these jewels and diamonds and stuff that you can use to trade in for rupees, so you can upgrade to like better armor and better weapons. And unlike the original Zelda games, you can actually get like a big ass amount of arrows. You can get so much arrows. I'm not sure how much you can get, but you can get a lot. Like, there are different types of arrows. There are fire arrows, there are shock arrows, there are ice arrows, there are bomb arrows, and there are so many of them. But really, what this game really changed is its difficulty. This is also one of the hardest games I've ever played, which isn't a bad thing, actually. No, I mean, sure, the original Zelda games, this game isn't flat out impossible. It's not as hard as Dark Souls, but it is pretty frustrating. It can be a little bit difficult to figure out how you're supposed to kill these guys. It will take you, like, especially near the final boss with Calamity Ganon. It took me a while to figure out what I have to do. So, yeah, but really, the bosses. Let me talk about the bosses. The main four bosses that you have to go through the dungeon and have to try to fight so you can awaken these guardians, they take they're actually pretty simple if you ask me. Except for this one part where this guy is just like super fast, like just whip my ass, and yeah. They might take at the beginning of the game, it is frustrating because you only have 3 hearts once you awaken. But you can get up to 30 hearts in this game. Alright? If you find all the shrines, which is the most that's like 10 10 more hearts you can get from the rest of the Zelda games. I mean, you can get your heart container whenever you want. Of course, if you get the shrines, of course. Now, are the treasure chests back? Yes, they definitely are. Of course, that was a stupid question, but yeah. But also, I just thought this had the best story. Like, there are so many. I couldn't complete my main quest because I just wanted to explore this world, and it was really satisfying to just try and find the shrines, which is actually not very hard to find the shrines. You have this little meter that detects what you can how you can get to the shrines. It detects how close you are to a shrine, like if it's nearby or what. And oh yeah, and also your health. You can't just get health simple as that. Just whip a pot and get a heart. No, you have to cook in order to get hearts, which is a thing I really liked about this game. I thought it was a really fun time to cook in this game. It's just like you can just take a bunch of ingredients and mix it all up and just make it into so you can get tons of better health, and that's one of my favorite parts about this game is where you can cook specific food items. You can get like recipes and stuff. Sorry, I keep speaks. It's just really a really fun time, and you can go through multiple villages, and once you go to a shrine, it will allow you to go to the map and get back to that shrine, so you can get closer to where you can go. And let me just say, they worked really hard on making this game. They worked really hard with the graphics. This is the best looking Zelda game since Wind Waker, and it's simple because I'm not sure I don't think this is cell shaded graphics. I mean, I never heard anyone say that the graphics were cell shaded. But oh yeah, also here's a new thing they put in the Zelda games, and this is actually the first time they get this right. Actually, since those god awful CDI games. This is the first good Zelda game to contain some cutscenes with dialogue, and I can say the dialogue does work very well a lot of the times. Like the cutscenes in this are like pretty cinematic, if you ask me. Like this is probably the most cinematic looking Zelda game out there, and yeah. Also, you can get like meats and apples and a bunch of fruits and vegetables and a lot of mushrooms. Now you get meat, of course, by killing animals in this game. That's right, you can kill animals in this game and you get food. Kind of like in Minecraft a little bit. And, there was something. Oh yeah, really frustrating thing to take on down is, you got these robots that shoot lasers, and like, if they come up to you the very first time you see them, they will kill you with one hit. But once you upgrade your health and stuff, it'll take to like about a few more hits. Like, 2 or 3 hits. Also, here's another thing. Another thing like Minecraft is, your weapons can break easily. Yeah, when you use your weapon too much, it breaks. Is that a problem? No, that makes the game a bit more challenging. You will have to stumble upon getting a lot more weapons, kind of like in Skyrim and Dark Souls, if you mixed it in together. But, like I said before, this is not as frustrating as Dark Souls. It is challenging. It's pretty challenging, which I know what they were going for, because that was missing, and I like that aspect. After finishing the game, it actually made me satisfied. I was all like, as soon as I beat Ganon, I was all like, this was so satisfying. This was so satisfying. And you can actually go to stores and purchase arrows and stuff like that. And, oh yeah, even though there is dialogue in this game, that does not mean Link has dialogue in this game. Nope, don't expect Link to say a single word. But here's the thing: you can actually use text boxes to speak sometimes. Like they do have that a little bit in this game. Also, kind of like in Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. And I didn't get all the memories because I think after you're done with the game, you can play it a little bit more, like, because it's an open world game. Because as soon as you finish the main part, you can continue looking at the world, trying to explore a lot more. Kind of like in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Borderlands 2, or I'm not sure if there are any other Grand Theft Auto games that do that, but yeah, I thought this was going to be pretty challenging because I'm terrible at Nintendo games. I have never in my life beaten a Mario game. I have beaten a Kirby game, and like I said before, I have beaten Wind Waker 2 times. I can't believe I actually beat this. Okay, as for the enemies themselves, they do get challenging once you what's really helpful about this is you can get an unlimited amount of bombs. Like when you get this power to get infinite bombs, okay? Also, how you can get jewels, it's actually pretty easy. Like, there are these stones, these little stones that sparkle, and you just whack them, or you can... What I usually like doing is blowing them up with my bombs and stuff. There are two different types of bombs. You got the round bombs and the cube bombs. I I personally prefer the cube bombs so they don't roll over, like, on a hill or something. And I only upgraded my stamina once, and I was pretty satisfied with it. And is this game worth playing again? Oh boy, yeah, it is. After playing this, I just want to play it again because here's the thing: it took me like less than 2 weeks to beat. Like, I really just wanted to finish this game because when I was playing this game, I was like, "Oh, this is too hard. I want to give up." But no, I want to continue playing because there are just aspects about this game. There were sequences in this game that frustrated me so much. I was all like, "Screw this, I'm out." But still, just because it's challenging doesn't make it a bad game. Hell, I like the challenge in this game. So after thinking about it, the more I think about it, the thing that's something that was kind of missing. I mean, yeah, they already did that in Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and simple enough. The challenge was actually pretty satisfying, and I was surprised that I made it up till the end of the game, the credits. I know I keep talking about that, but I cannot get over how great this game was. And you can actually replay the cutscenes once you get your memories. And while I guess my only issue is when it gets to the end, like there's the end, and then it just flashes to the credits, and then gets another end sequence. I like the end sequence that happens after the credits a little bit more than before the credits. But hell, that the ending isn't a big issue for me. I mean, hell, we have Bioshock didn't have a very good ending. Uh, Halo 2 had one of the most unsatisfying endings of all time. But hell, I can't say that the ending was anything to complain about. I mean, just... Oh yeah, let me get back to the challenge. So yeah, there was so many stuff throughout this game that just frustrated me so much. I did not know what to do. So I teleported to different worlds, and, I just really, really wanted to try my best. Also, I did play the game a lot off the TV, because I could play it on the screen. Let me talk about the Nintendo Switch itself for a minute. It's actually a pretty damn good system. I don't have that many problems with it, and I can certainly see myself getting some Nintendo Switch games to play one day, and get some more if I want. But guys, let me talk about this overall. Zelda Breath of the Wild is hands down the best Zelda game I have ever played. It is gorgeous looking. It has endearing new characters. It has a gorgeous, and I mean flat out gorgeous, large open world that you can explore for hours. You you can pretty much forget that, oh crap, I'm at a mission right now, or Yeah, but I have to. But that's the thing, guys. And its challenge works very well, going without being flat out impossible. Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the best games I've ever played, and it certainly deserves my highest grade of a 5 out of 5 stars. This is an absolute perfect Zelda game, and I highly suggest buying it. If you're a fan of the Legend of Zelda series, I will continue playing Zelda games because this just made me love the Zelda franchise even more. Thank you, Nintendo, for giving us this great game. I cannot wait to see what they do next. Oh my god. See, the game was so good. I had to talk about it for 20 minutes. Let me end this before it gets any longer and before this laptop runs out of memory. So I'll see you guys later. Word out.